Hi everyone, so I'm back, and in this video we'll be considering the roles and character analysis of Mr. Berlin. Let's begin. And of course, you know that he represents the capitalist ideology. In my previous video, I talked about the rich, a society where you have the rich getting richer, that is the capitalist society, and the poor getting poorer, right? So Mr. Berlin is just a character, but he represents as a whole the capitalist ideology. Okay, and Mr. Berlin represents capitalism and the belief that business success is more important than human welfare. At this rate, they just want to amass wealth. They just want to keep, expanding their business. Just want to keep, enlarging. Just want to keep making money. The welfare of their workers is not their cup of tea. Okay, and it's evident when he defends his decision to sack Eva Smith for demanding higher wages. His action shows that he prioritizes profit over people, reflecting the harsh treatment of workers during that period. So that £2 and 50 shilling that is going to add to it, he considers it too much. Like, just I've tried enough, giving them 22 pound and 50 shilling. That's I'm being benevolent. Why would they ask for extra £2? You know, of which that thing cannot even you cannot take anything from him. But the guts that they have for wanting to challenge him, for putting up a union and starting a protest just for salary increment. That protest is just for you to know that your people, the people that work for you, the people that you rely on to be wealthy, they are not treated right. And you should in turn do the needful. But no, he decided to sack than to make their lives better. Another thing about him is that he never takes responsibility. He never. He did not, even to the end of the play. He didn't think that what he did was wrong. So he's portrayed as a man who refuses to take responsibility for his action. It's clearly shown when he says, "I can't accept any responsibility, even after learning about Eva's death. Like, I'm not the one that killed her. What I did was send her away from my company. So you can't blame her death on me." This highlights his selfishness and unwillingness to admit wrongdoing. But the fact still remains that if you did not drive her away from your company, she would still be there managing and she would still be alive today. Because you driving her away is because of her, meeting all of those obstacles on her way till the point where she eventually decides that death is the best way out. He's selfish. There's nothing you can tell me. This man is very selfish. Like I said, like that's £2. So Mr. Bailey represents the older generation who resist change and ignore moral lessons. Like himself and the wife. Even when the daughter, kept calling their attention to the fact that they should own up and should take responsibility for the death. They're like, no. So even after the inspector's interrogation, he remains more concerned about his reputation than the consequences of his action. This shows his rigid mindset and lack of growth. So even after the inspector go, okay, he was worried. He was still worried about that he does not want any bad or dented image because he's vying for this post. He's vying for a particular post. So hope this scandal is not going to affect. Like he doesn't even want any scandal. Instead of you to accept, because this is human life here. Human life should be given priority to than whatever position you want to come, you want to get into. But no, he chose the position over the life of Eva Smith. And social superiority and class pride. Like I said, the rich getting richer, the poor getting. So there is a clear gap between the social classes. Now, Mr. Belling believes strongly in social hierarchy and class division. He looks down on the working class and believes they should not challenge authority. Like that was the crux of him, chasing Eva Smith out. How dare you? How dare you bring up this union in my company and think that you can challenge me? Me? So instead of him to look at what they were fighting for, he looked at how they of the lower class could challenge him of the higher class. His attitude towards Eva Smith reflect his belief that lower class individuals are replaceable and insignificant. So that was why he just like if you don't want this job, there are thousands of people that still want to. There are thousands of people. So if you don't want, come on, let me make it easier for you. Come and be going. And so the significance of this character is that he is significant because he represents the selfish and irresponsible attitude that Priestley criticizes throughout the play. You remember that Priestley is the playwright, right? So he represents those people that Priestley is preaching against. Through his character, Priestley warns against prioritizing wealth and status over human compassion and encourages the audience to adopt a more responsible and caring approach to society. The fact that God had placed you there, thank God. But don't make life hell for other people that are not as opportune as you are. Because Eva Smith felt that this life is not worth living because of the likes of Berlin and his family. So I skipped a particular paragraph, and that's the character description. I believe that by now you should know the character description. So please, you already know that he's a manufacturer, that is the wife to Mrs. Birling. He has two children, Eric and Sheila, and he's interested in the marriage of Sheila and whatever for his selfish. And that's one of the what's another one of his role. He's very selfish. So you can decide to go to your competitor in marriage because of what you stand to gain. Okay, so still on character description, he's wealthy, he's a manufacturer, he was once a mayor, right? He was once a mayor and is vying for a post. And of course, the last thing is that he's irresponsible. He's like a representation of the upper class, okay, who makes life miserable for the lower class. So with this, we have come to the end of character analysis of Mr. Birling. So I come your way next video. Bye.